And Noah was born on November 29th, 2020. He was born at 25 weeks and ended up spending 7.5, almost 8 months in the NICU. First birthday, I noticed a lump on his abdomen. They ordered some images and we found out that he actually had a growth.
So he spent 200 days in neonatal ICU until he was referred to us with the diagnosis of advanced tumor or cancer.
So initially, we didn't really know about all his risk factors. We really thought we were doing an initial evaluation of somebody that would get 2 cycles of chemo. In the next couple of months, he had quite a few complications that did not make it, he was not able to leave the hospital. Then he had an episode where his heart had stopped. So probably one of the sickest patients that we've evaluated for liver transplant, but we just did not think that we could say no without actually seeing him.
They decided the chemo wasn't working and they weren't sure what else they were going to be able to do. Dr. Ghosh, I think it was a Friday night late, she called Michelle and said, I'm not giving up, we're going to figure out something. And they decided to try radioembolization, which they had never done here on a child before.
Now, one of the biggest challenges for him was his physical size. He's so tiny, so consequently his blood vessels are also tiny. And even if we use the smallest tools available, they are almost too big for his blood vessels. But, we made it work.
For the first time, we actually started to see the tumor shrink. And it became more clear that we were likely not, to have tumor in the vein, and that, a liver transplant would become possible just because of the fact that the tumor was shrinking.
I think it was August where they said he's ready to be listed. He had to continue with chemo, and he was supposed to have 6 rounds in total. He ended up with 13. And every time, I'll cry, every time they would start another round of chemo, I would just cry.
And it was a difficult transplant for many different reasons, technically and medically. Technically because his tumor was so advanced, and to take out the liver was a serious challenge without hurting him. But we were able to overcome these difficulties with the wonderful team and team of anesthesia.
He's done with all the chemos, he's done with all of the follow-ups, I believe, and we're on our way up to rehab fairly soon. And once we're done with that, we go home.
Everything was stacked up against him, every single thing. The ICU, heart, oncology, GI, liver, infectious disease. I don't think there's one subspecialty that has not treated him. And he's just overcome so many different things, all in one little human body.
My gratitude's immense. It'll be lifelong. I'll never forget Dr. Tekin, Dr. Garcia, Dr. Salvaji, Dr. Ghosh, Dr. Mohan, all these people that rallied around my son and thought up of unorthodox ways to help him. Thank you.